Hi, I'm Valerie Wheeler. Today we're with EirGrid, the official timing partner of the GAA. Today we're with Jonny Cooper to find out more about his community and his career. Jonny, it's so lovely to have you here and for you to share some of your life stories with us today. Can you start maybe by telling us about Glasnevin and maybe describe what it's like there?
Glasnevin, when I was growing up, was probably a little bit smaller and not as many people hanging around. Now it's literally bursting at the seams. Na Fianna GAA club, which is my own parish and my own club, my own community, is as kids hanging out of trees, out of every little bit of grass. So really busy place. It's kind of the first or the second stop outside of the city centre, so quite close to town and quite busy in that sense, but at the same time its own little, as I said, community, its own little parish, which continues to grow.
So you've clearly seen massive changes from the 90s when you were growing up to now.
Yeah, lots, and we have lots of heritage. There's Glasnevin Cemetery on one side, there's Botanic Gardens on the other side, there's St Pat's College, now DCU, kind of on the other side, and as I said, you have the city centre on the kind of fourth side, so we're boxed in by lots of history and by lots of kind of stories, as well as kind of more well-known faces from the area and so on. So like, it was a really good upbringing from a sense of you're really getting a sense of the history of the country and many different things in Glasnevin Cemetery versus the local GAA club, which is role models for me, like Desi Farrell and lots of other people that I would have got really good exposure to.
What was the family like and maybe the life with friends?
Yeah, quite normal. I'm the youngest of four, so you have to kind of sometimes...
Spoiled.
Yeah, spoiled, but I was going to say earn your keep as well. But spoiled is probably the better answer and probably more appropriate answer. So youngest of four, sister and two brothers, and yeah, they're all great role models. Played in the same team as my two brothers. My sister played up until recently. Quite normal, quite just, you know, just get on with your kind of day job and your college life and go to sleep and go back up again.
Tell us about the club Na Fianna then. What was it like being part of it?
Yeah, it's special for me because my granddad is a founding member, so we're 1955 founded, and it has lots of history in it, and part of our history is where we built our club originally. It burnt down, and literally my granddad and his colleagues at the time would have literally picked up a piece of wood and rebuilt it themselves, so it goes obviously right back before my time in that case. But the club is very special because that's the kind of where it's born out of for me. It's a real family, direct family connection. And then later life, obviously getting to play in it, and as I mentioned already, there's people like Desi Farrell and Jason Sherlock and Sen and Connell and lots of other role models, my own family, that you're getting sort of that kind of just about touch, but not quite close enough to when you're in your teenage years and then maybe latter years. There's so many great volunteers like in all clubs that give you a great kind of grounding and everything else. So Na Fianna for me goes right back to its roots essentially, and trying to in some way carry on that legacy from my own family's point of view.
Clearly a good sense of community, so Jonny.
Yeah, massive. Na Fianna is 3,600 members. You have, I think, as of the last count, 180 plus teams, male, female, rounders, ladies football, camogie, men's football, under 16s, it's 50-50 parity, male and female. There's so much going for it. And it's top end of the table, getting to the latter stage of championships, and it's not all about winning, but certainly there's a lot that comes with that as well. So as a whole, in a good way, it's bursting at the seams, and it's just trying to keep everybody involved with what we have, but we're doing a good job at the moment. Is
there other things than sport maybe that the community offer?
Yeah, I mean socially, COVID aside, but interrupted a little bit, but you know, I think it was every Thursday was the music on, every Friday you'll have some sort of a party or a family event or some sort of a celebration. Saturday typically you'll have teams in after playing matches. Sunday there's lots going on, obviously aside from on the pitch, which is just as important if not more important.
Jonny, taking a look at your career, looking back to when you were a bit younger, when did you think that playing for the Dubs was a possibility?
Probably latter teens, I would imagine. It was kind of always that. I went to Hill 16 with my mother for years. Didn't attend too many games because Dublin weren't in too many games at the time, but we did go when we could go. So it was always a kind of burning desire that it wasn't even to play for a period of time. It was just to do it once or get that little bit of the run out of the tunnel just one time. It's probably latter teens, and then end up going to DCU and get a little bit more serious about it. And then it kind of the wheel started to turn, albeit I didn't play till I was 23 at the senior grade.
What has been your highest moment, maybe your highest achievement for you?
I'd probably say away from the successes for me, it's probably just being accepted into the group for so many years. I was very blessed and fortunate to do and play for Dublin for 11 years, and all of those, every single teammate, coach, manager, I highly respect. So for me, it's just getting the opportunity, but probably further to that, it always and still is in my mind that I just being accepted into all those groups, and for my good and bad sides, it was just very accepting.
You've had so many highs, so many All-Irelands, and in the midst of all that madness, it's been well documented, Jonny, that you were attacked during this, which was probably a low for you.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't often talk about it in the sense of like people want to understand more, etc. I'm happy to, but it's not a... Look, essentially I was very close to it being curtains, like completely, not just football, just completely, and I was very fortunate, millimetres in fact, that it didn't, unfortunate that it didn't go that way, so that very much grounded me. That was 2014, that was kind of my second year into my Dublin career, so that was a really good and timely reminder that as it went on to be a further 9 or 10 years for me, that the 2 feet always need to be on the ground, and the importance of, I suppose, cherishing everything I have around me, and obviously my club, Na Fianna, and my community is that direct thing for me.
Well, thank God that everyone was able to rally around you, and the community was an important part of that time.
Massive. They were the first people in, the first people to drop off food, the first people to look after mum and family, the first people to just know what to do at the right time, given I've been in Na Fianna since I was 4 and in the community before that. So yeah, massive, and that's probably understating it completely, because they still are there for me, and that's what I'm trying to do, repay and return that favour a little bit.
Well, thank you for speaking about it. It can't have been easy for you. You know, it's amazing for you to share that moment with us. But for you, maybe, what's next now? Let's think of the positives. What's next for Jonny? Would you ever think of management? Would you ever think of heading back to Dublin, you know, getting some way involved?
For me, the kind of intersection of people and performance has always been something I've been close to, be it my college and my study and my current professional life. Coaching, I don't know and can't explicitly say yes or no, but I do know if it involves people and performance, and my own club, Na Fianna, or Dublin, could be an opportunity in the future, which I'd consider, I suppose.
Right, so Jonny, and some parting wisdom for everybody. What is the best piece of advice that you've ever been given?
I think for me, I've been very fortunate to have lots of mentors and people to influence me right across the board. But when I was younger in Na Fianna, one of my coaches there would have espoused, I guess, the potential in taking the road less travelled and the opportunity, yes, the challenge, but the opportunity that comes with that. So for me, having the courage when those moments arise to take the road less travelled has always been something that stuck out to me.
That's brilliant. Thanks so much for sharing everything with us today.
No problem.